This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
And we're back. This question is awesome. I love everything about it. Can you tell me, what do you do if your roof installer or a contractor ends up dying 3-5 years after the installation and his business closes down? How does the warranty of his company work? Do anything at this point? Who becomes responsible then? It's like my relative that bought an extended car warranty, thought a dealership, and when she needed it, the dealer said, "We're sorry, but we sold you a third-party warranty for $1,200, and that company went bankrupt. If they weren't bankrupt, we would fix it." This is why I don't buy any warranties anymore. Either they went out of business, or look at the small print, we don't cover that. The same must go with the roofing businesses. When I heard my installer's company owner died and closed up shop, I felt screwed. The only thing I cling to is maybe the contractor that I actually paid that subbed it to the roofer might honor that warranty. Great question. What do you guys think? 3 to 5 years. So 3 years later, by the way, for our listeners, 95% of contractors go out of business in 5 years. That are just the numbers. Like, deal with it. Like, it's reality. Most roofers go out of business in 5 years. They're market leaders. There's few of them, right? So you should not be relying on your roofer to be in business forever. Companies sell, companies go out of business, they move. Whole bunch of stuff. But your warranty mainly is with manufacturer materials, and your warranty is also can be provided by third parties. Guys, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead first. I typically don't trust manufacturer warranties to begin with. And what most homeowners don't know is manufacturer's warranties typically only cover defects anyways. And a lot of times homeowners are having problems with leaks, and that's not usually covered on a manufacturer unless you buy the elite manufacturer warranty. So typically they don't honor anyways. And if there is a defect with your shingle that's going to cause you a problem, when the manufacturer comes out, they're going to deem that maybe it wasn't installed exactly correctly, and they have a way to get out of the warranty. So I wouldn't put a lot of stress into it, because a lot of the warranties actually don't benefit you, the homeowner, typically. And most warranties are created so that contractors spend more money on different products to put them together. And so a lot of manufacturers charge more for the components than the actual shingle itself. And they require you to use those components to get the warranty. So most of the time the warranties are just smoke mirrors. They don't actually cover much. And so I wouldn't be really worried if I was the homeowner.
I agree. Randy?
Yeah, he took most of it. I would just default to my normal is make sure you know who you're going with. If they are a long-term reputable company, then the likelihood of them going out of business within their warranty. I absolutely love when I see contractors that give lifetime warranties on a roof.
Or manufacturers do the same thing.
Yeah, manufacturers do lifetime. Well, they'll say limited lifetime, and then they'll put a depreciation on it. But when an installer is giving a lifetime, technically it is lifetime in that if for whatever reason their install fails, then they'll come back out. But generally, you're going to see them do anywhere between 3 to 7 years labor. Within 3 to 7 years, if your roof hasn't failed, it's probably not going to, unless wind or hail gets a hold of it.
Agreed.
I would say this. If you're the homeowner listening to this, this is where I draw the line, and this is my advice. Go with your guts. Use common sense when someone tries to sell you warranty, because a lot of warranties are upsells, and that's how companies make profits, both manufacturers and roofers. I've seen roofers charge $2,000-$3,000 for extended warranties. I've seen manufacturers require 5 accessories to buy from them, and which is cost arm and a leg, because it's all overpriced. So it's upsell. So don't be a sucker. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Use common sense. If you buy a car, life expectancy of the car, if you buy a Toyota, it's going to be 150, 200,000 miles, right? You're going to get it. And if someone comes to you and say, for extra $5,000, we'll cover it up until 5 million miles. It sounds too good to be true, right? But a couple hundred thousand is similar. It's reasonable. The same with roofing. Like life expectancy of typical roof, asphalt shingle roof, 15-20 years. You should expect that. And if something happens to your roof, your roof's still probably going to be lasting for at least the period of time if it's done right? Now, if you were talking about flooring, painting, when I go to Home Depot, you see faucets, you see all the products like lifetime this, lifetime that. I use common sense when I read those, and I don't buy extended warranties unless they make common sense. Some do, some don't. And I'm not saying that do your own research, but if your gut is telling you it's probably not going to last, it's probably not going to last. It's probably sound too good to be true. Let's go to the next question. I love this one. I'm going to skip, guys. We have a list here. I want to go to Dwayne Gilhart, 3291. I have two contractors supposedly bidding the same roofing system and same tier of replacement, but are about $8,000 apart in price. The lower bidder claims to be getting special deals on the roofing system materials from the manufacturers. Is that a thing, and how do I compare them? The lower bidder is a friend, and the higher bidder is a neighbor and a friend. I'll start with this one because I help homeowners through directory.com to go through estimates. I actually have an almost identical scenario 4 years ago. I have two actual good friends in the Houston market. One of them was $21,000, another one was $28,000, so it was $7,000 apart. Homeowner called me, it was scheduled a call, and I did my investigation. The reason one was so low, he was buying truckloads and he was passing all the savings to the homeowner. So sometimes you have those guys. I actually gave the guy business advice not to pass all the savings to the homeowners because when homeowners see the cheap bidders, they actually raise red flags. What's wrong with your materials, right? Like when you're just buying bulk, and people will be skeptical, and nobody likes, not popular opinion, roofers think the homeowners trying to get a cheaper price. Not always. Cheaper price is usually a lot of red flags. So if you're the homeowner and you're getting very cheap price, you should be concerned. You should investigate what's behind it. But in this case, if that's true, if he's buying direct or in bulk or whatever the case is, I don't have red flag there. And maybe you just found like best secret in your town and do it. Why not? But as long as it's not Chuck in a truck who's just buying second grade shingles, guys.
Well, they did say here that the low bidder was a friend. So I know that I've done some work for friends and family that at a price that I wouldn't probably do normally for just our client base. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be in business at those rates. So that is a variable there. And it may be a perfect storm where they're both helping out with their price because it's a friend, and they happen to buy some of their accessories bulk. And so ultimately putting those two together, they are that much of a difference. It could be the other contractor really thinking a little bit higher of themselves than they need to be, and maybe they need to look at their margins. And this is all assuming that they are correct and that it is bid apples to apples, because sometimes we've literally had customers that have come back to us in our business and said, why is there such a difference? And then they'll actually redact the pricing, not tell us what the difference is. And then we'll go over the actual description, and we'll be able to point out the differences there and say, well, they're doing this, we're doing that. And then the customer then understands. So there might be some assumptions that Dwayne's doing here, Dewey is doing here, but those could be variables.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I would leave it up to the highest bidder to explain why they're higher, right? Like I'd want to know why you're higher. That's his duty if he's higher, to explain it and find the differences. I would let him find those differences, compare the contracts, let's figure out who that is or what the difference is. To me, one of the biggest differences on a roof system a lot of times is the installers. What makes a really good roof job compared to another? And so I would be asking questions like, how long have these guys worked for you? Where's some previous work that they've done? Give me some addresses and maybe a previous customer on the lower end guy that you've worked for, and you can compare the products. Look at that roof, talk to that homeowner. These are the only ways I feel like you can protect yourself. But the biggest one to me is who's your installers, how long have they worked for you, and tell me why they're significantly different. But leave it up to the person with the highest bid to explain. I'd like to hear it from them.
Still, $8,000 is pretty big gap just on installation part. And what a friendly guy. He has a lower bid friend, lower bidder, neighbor is a friend. He calls everybody friends, right? Everybody's friendly. Love it. Last question before we go on a break. Which gutter guards will not void a shingle warranty? Great question. We have so many gutter products on the market.
I like this question. I've seen this come up a couple times. To me, I love gutter guards that attach directly to the fascia that don't slide underneath the shingles. So in Florida, we get a lot of wind-blown rain, and as the water's coming off, it gets blown back underneath. So we really need that sealant to do its job. And a lot of times that gutter screen is going to break that sealant and cause issues. So if I'm installing a gutter screen, it's going to directly attach to the fascia of the gutter. Nothing that goes underneath the roof system is going to be good for the homeowner when it comes to gutter guards.
Yep, that's what voids the warranty, is that starter strip and first course being broken. And so, like Jason said, any gutter guard that doesn't require you to break that seal on the first course is going to keep you in your warranty.
I would add one more product that is not going to void the warranty, but please don't do it. It's those sponges that you see in Lowe's and Home Depot. Every year they sell so many. Those sponges are absolutely the worst. I've done gutter guard comparison every single year, and those, I've removed so many of them. If you like grown plants, that's the perfect bed for your plants, because all the dust gonna collect there, and you're gonna start having trees, year 2 or 3, super fast. So they're not gonna void the warranty, but please do not use it. And you will notice that every store has them, because people just put them in, replace them every year. I absolutely hate them. Do you guys agree that it's the worst gutter product on the market?
I agree. You can get a lot of bugs too, like a bunch of different things living in your gutters. And so I would not install those. Seen them many times.
It's just
Yeah,
asking for trouble.
I've seen plenty of plant life growing out of those things from the roof side. Yep.
All right. When we come back, we're going to finish it with a few more very spicy questions, starting with a person in Iowa who just bought a house and started having major issues within the first 30 days. When we come back.